welcome to Sharie's Painting. So today we are going to be painting a little mountainscape, mountain/snowscape. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I hope you guys or everyone enjoys this little painting. This is going to be a recreation of a painting I did about 10 years ago. So I hope you guys like it. It's a fairly cold little painting, but it's actually a very pretty little painting as well. So for colors today, we're going to be starting out for the sky. I'm just pouring the last little color here. We're going to be starting out with white, navy blue, and black. For the complete project, you will need this is a 1/2-inch flat brush. That's what I'll be using. I also have this little scruffy brush. It's great for making little bushes and things. So any scruffy brush that you have would work well. I have a little fan brush. So if you folks out there haven't used this before, now is your chance. So a little fan brush there. I also have a liner brush as well. Again, these are all really old brushes that I've had for quite some time. I have another scruffy little brush. It used to be a filbert. And I have an actual filbert that I've been using now for several years, as well as a number 4 round. But that being said, you can use whatever brush makes you happy. That is perfectly fine with me. So we're going to start with the background. So that will be our step 1, if you will. So let's get going. So I'm going to take my 1/2-inch flat, and I'm going to actually start out with this navy blue. I'm going to mix a little bit of black with the navy blue here just to make a really dark sky, but I don't want it to be black. Okay, so that's about right. It's just a bit of a darker navy blue. I am notorious for never having enough paint. So have much paint on your brush because we need coverage on this canvas. And sometimes if our brush isn't loaded enough, it tends to it tends to not work out so well. So lots of coverage here. We're just going to do, and no in particular stroke am I doing here, but I do want the top to be very dark. So now that we've done that, don't forget to do your edges, everybody. And a lot of times I'll do my edges off camera, but today I'm going to do them on camera. Okay, and then we're going to go into a little bit of that white. I'm not washing my brush first. I'm going to just go right in here. I want that center area to be a little bit lighter. And again, just blend it in with that blue. Again, I'm not going to wash my brush. I'm going to go right for that dark blue color again, and I'm going to the bottom of the canvas this time. So, the bottom of the canvas here. And your fingers might get dirty. Did I happen to mention that? Mine are all the time. So, if that happens, that happens. I mean, one day maybe I'll find a little table easel, but for now, I just haven't done that yet. So, maybe at some point. So, I'm going to add a little more dark here, and then I'm going to pick up that white again so that it's more light to the center of the canvas, a little bit more I feel, and use lots of paint. And then I want you guys to blend that in so that you can't see where one starts and the other stops. And it's just going to be a nice quiet little sky here. There we go. Okay, and then we will see you all on the next step. Okay, everyone, so for this step, we're going to make the mountain. So I'm still using the same palette here, and we're gonna do this with a dark color. You could use a palette knife for this step if you wanted, but I'm going to just use my brush. So basically, I want my mountain about right here, and then, so I'm just gonna make a little bit of a triangle here, okay? And then we're gonna probably add to that a little bit, like we'll put another little bump there, and it'll go off to the side, another little bump here. And this mountain is gonna be pretty much in the distance. So once you've done that, and leave the bottom edges, we don't want any hard edges there at the bottom. And I'm just using the one color for now. And then all in the sides here is all going to be trees. So really all we want at this point is that little peak. And I dipped in a little bit of water just to make my paint flow a little smoother. And then I'm just gently, there we go. I'm just going to move that up here. I just wanted a little bit more of a peak here. There we go. That's better. And then the sides really, don't matter all that much. And then we're just going to blend that out from there. There we go. So now our mountain is made, and there's just a couple little hills in there. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to not clean my brush, and I'm just going to go into that white and grab a little bit of white there. The light is going to be coming from, let's see, which direction? I'm going to say the light is going to be coming from the right-hand side of the canvas. So it's going to be lit on this side here. So just gently throw your brush, and you can do this ever so gently with your brush. And I would use a fair amount of paint here and just really gently bring that over like this. And then we'll go in and make little things in a minute here, but for now I just want it to be like that. There we go. And I don't want it to be completely white yet, so mix it in with that blue a little. And then again, at the bottom, I want you just to bring that white out. There we go. Maybe that edge goes way over there, just like that. And then we're gonna have a bit of a lighter reflected color on this side. So it's not quite as light, but it is still a little bit light. And we're gonna get that peak with our little, at the end when we do our complete highlights. So there, we made our mountain, easy peasy lemon squeezy. And we will fix it up a little bit, and I will see you in the next step. Okay, so for this step, we're gonna make all the little trees at the base of the mountain here, and then we're gonna add a few more details into that mountain too, so we're not quite done with that yet. But I want you to take your fan brush, okay, and I'm gonna dip mine in a little bit of water just to make it go a little smoother. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this blue and the white, and we're gonna mix it, and we're gonna just drag our fan brush through it like this. Okay, just like that. And then we're gonna go onto the canvas, and we're gonna make some little trees at the base of the mountain. So, and we're gonna make them different colors. And we just wanna do the base, and you wanna stagger where they're lying. So in other words, you don't want them all at the same height. We want some at taller heights. We want some at lower heights, but we also want them staggered in color as well. So I want you just to go in and grab your, grab a different color, if you will, as you're going through it, because that way it looks like there's a whole bunch of trees when you're doing different color. And now I'm pointing my brush completely up and down like this, okay? And then that just makes it look like there's a whole bunch of trees around this mountain. So, and then I'm going to go in with just the blue, and we're going to go in and use that too. And then as we move forward, we might have one or two of these trees that you can actually know that they're actually trees or pine trees. So we will do a few of those. So now I'm just adding in a little bit of the darker blue, and basically all I'm doing is putting little blobs. I'm not really even paying attention to, you know, what they look like. So there we go. And now it just makes it look like there's a lot of trees in there, even though we didn't do a whole lot of work. So it's just a way of fooling the eye. Now I'm going in with a little bit of the white and add a little bit of white in there as well. Again, it just makes it look like there's just distant trees and they're everywhere. Again, I'm sorry if my hand is in the way. There we go. There we go. And then we might have one or two. You can go right into your blue here and drag your brush through, and you might have one or two that actually you can see that they're a tree. So you might want to just dab your brush just like this, and you're just using the edge of your brush here, and you're just dabbing back and forth, and that just indicates that there is in fact a tree there. Okay, so just like that. That is it for that step. That is all we're going to do. So we'll see you on the next step. So we're just going to finish up our mountain now. So I've got my number 4 round, and I'm going straight into the blue here, the dark blue, and I'm just going to put little things on the mountain here at the top, just to make it look like there's little crevices in there and stuff. And then I'm going to go into the white, and not a whole lot here, just a little to begin with, and then we're just going to go right to the top, and I'm just going to add on little things here and there to indicate little snow patches. And my hand is shaky, so you know, shaky hands at this point are a good thing. So just dab it on and bring it down, and it just makes it look like there's a big snowpack on your mountain. There we go. And it doesn't have to be perfect here. No mountain is perfect. I'm just going to add a little bit of extra color on the other side of that mountain, just like that. And then it just makes it look like, you know, there's little crevices in your mountain. It doesn't look so straight. And there you go. Your mountains are finished. I mean, how simple was that to do a mountain? And our trees in front of the mountain are finished as well. I'm just going to add a little more there. There we go. So then we will see you on the next step. Okay, so what we're going to do in this step now is we're going to use that fan brush again, and we're going to go into that dark. Might add a little black in there like this. Just dip your brush. If the paint's not moving, then just dip your brush a little bit into the water just to get it going. And we're gonna make a little path, okay, that starts back here, and you can use your fan brush for this. You're gonna start it back here, and then as it comes forward, it's gonna get wider and wider and wider. And you wanna stagger the path, okay? Just like that. When you're running out of paint, just dip into the water again. Dip a little bit onto a paper towel because you don't want it too watery if you feel like it's too watery. And then again, we're gonna go out, and it's gonna come all the way out like this. Okay, all the way. And then we're gonna end up setting that mountain way back with some trees and stuff like that too. So again, and we will be going over that a little bit with a dry brush and white, but for now that's okay. So now we're gonna make we're gonna make some trees that are closer to us, and it'll push everything back in here. So what we want to do is you want to go right back into that color. These are about the only colors we're going to be using today, you got everyone. So so dip again into that blue and that black, and I want this to be, you know, a fairly dark color, but we're going to have some trees. Say it's going to come about, well, we might even do a few little trees in there too, up in here that are a little closer. So I think we're gonna do that first. We're gonna kill some of those other trees, but we're gonna come in like this. And you wanna, like I said, you wanna just pick your spot where you want your trees to be. And then we're just gonna go in and make them. So you can make a straight line, and then you wanna use the edge, this part of your brush here, and you're just gonna gently go like, and dab it, okay, just like that. And then you make these little pretty trees. And again, as you get toward the bottom, it'll always be darker on these trees. So we'll just do that. And again, there's no way, shape, or form with these. I'm gonna make one that's a little bit taller. And then I may have to go in and reload my brush. There we go. Maybe he's a little further back than these ones. There we go. So I'm gonna go reload my brush again. And this one will be a little taller, I feel. So there we go. And all our trees are made back in the next little area. And then we will go and add snow and separate those as well in a moment. But maybe there's one right here too, a little one. So again, I'm just gonna go in. That one might be a little lighter. So let's go here and make one right here. There we go. There we go. Excellent. Okay, so we've got one side done over here, and then we're gonna add some snow in there too. So let's go do the other side. So again, we're using the same colors. And we're gonna have all kinds of other little things going on too. We're gonna go here. I'm gonna make this tree right here. I'm gonna get just a bit more paint there and dip in my water just a little. Get that paint to flow a little bit more. And then you wanna go and you wanna drag your brush through it. And let's say we've got one right here. There we go. There he is. Just like that. Maybe this one's a little tilted. Let's put him in there too. He's tilted a little bit. Flip there, okay. And then I've got another one here. Again, I'm gonna go and get more paint. There we go. And he's here. And we just have to work in layers and go from back to front, back to front, back to front. Okay, so there we go there. And again, we're gonna put another one in. Let's put one that's pretty tall up here. There we go. And this is my smallest fan brush. I have quite a few of these. And as we get forward, things are gonna get bigger and bigger, but if you look at it now, it pushes that mountain back into the distance, and then as we come forward, it'll push it back even more. So on the next step, we're gonna add a little bit of snow, so get ready for that. I am going to use my filbert brush for that, and which is this one, the same one I made the mountain with. But you guys can use whatever you like, and then after we've done that, we'll end up adding some snow. We're gonna do, we're gonna make this a snowy scene by the time it's done, but hopefully you guys are enjoying this. And so we'll see you on the next step. Okay, everyone, so we're gonna put some snow on the trees there. So we're just gonna drag our fan brush in through, again, in that white. Touch, 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 light little touch of blue there, because I don't want it completely white. And we're just gonna go in and do the same thing that we did to begin with when we made these little trees. So I'm just gonna go in with the corner and just go like that. Again here on the corner, just like that. Just to make it look like there's a little snow and a little bit of separation in between those trees there. And I don't want there to be too much white just yet. And you know me, I always end up having to add in more darks. So that's just the nature of the game for me. There we go. We don't want to overdo it, but we do want it more on the right-hand side because that's where the light source is coming from. So there we go. We've got our snow on those trees, and those ones are more distant. So I'm going to grab my little liner brush here too, and then I'm just going to put the tip of it and roll it around in that white with the water. There we go, because I want this to be like an ink-like consistency. And we're gonna go put some tips on those trees. So one here, and that just stands them out as well. Whoop. And there, we got one there, and one there. And then same on this side, one leaning over, one there, one there, one there. There we go. And you can put a little piece in between too if you want, but these ones are going to be probably a little bit covered up anyway because we've got other things coming in the rest of the picture. So okay, so that's about it for that. Now we're going to use our fan brush again actually. So same sort of colors because we're really sticking with this palette. So I think what we're going to do is have a cabin over on this side when we're done, but for now I'm just gonna put some more snow in here, okay? And I'm just gonna really just tap along in this area and just make a few little pieces where the, you know, areas where the snow comes out from the tree. It's gonna be a little darker underneath there. There we go. I thought about putting a skating rink in here actually in this painting, but maybe we'll save that one for another day. I thought that would be kind of cool to do that. So this side's going to be pretty lit up because the sun is shining right down on here, whereas the other side, it's more toward the trees, but we need to lay this snow in before we can go any further with the painting. So there we go. Just bring that right out. And you can bring the snow right across here too, because this little path is going to have little snow things on it. That's going to be pretty lit up back there too, because the sun is going to be glinting in through there. And you can have little areas that the light is going to be coming through. Okay, everyone, so for this part, we're going to do a cabin. I have to apologize because I kind of got my video stopped working, so I'm not sure what happened, but anyway, we're going to do a cabin. I've got a piece of chalk here, and I have, because it's flat on the end when you get a new piece, I've lost my other piece. I've sort of chiseled away at the one side with a knife just to make it a point. Hopefully you guys can see that. So we're just going to make a cabin, just a simple little cabin, and you can put yours on the right hand side or the left hand side. It doesn't matter, whatever you're comfortable with. I am going to put mine on the right hand side here, and so I'm just going to make a triangle, okay? And then my cabin is going to go back. Try and keep in mind perspective, though I am not always the greatest at that, but you know what? It kind of makes your paintings a little bit unique when you're not. So, you know, some people would disagree with that, but I like a little bit of charm and character to my paintings. So this is just a tucked away little cabin here, and that's it. It's just a tiny little roof. And we're going to paint that in. So what we need is, the colors I've got here now are brown, black, and white. And I am just gonna grab my little angle brush here, and I'm gonna mix up a little bit of the brown and black. We'll just put a little, what do you call it? A base coat, I guess, on here. So it's gonna be a fairly dark color here. And I'm just gonna go right from here and fill that in. And then I'll fix up the perspective here in a minute, but I'm not too terribly concerned about it at this point. And then a little bit here as well. There we go. We want that in the front too, just like that. There we go. I've got a little angled brush here. They tend to help a little bit, but if you don't have one, just any little brush will do at this point. So we just want the hint of a little cabin here. I'm gonna put him right back actually, just like that. And then I'm gonna rinse out that brush, and I'm gonna go in with a tiny bit of just brown. So just like this, just to give him a little bit of, different color. And then I'm gonna go in with the white as well. So again, I'm gonna just load that angle brush up and just go and put it on like this. And we will be putting in a door as well. Not so much a window, but, and I'm gonna go and do that roof as well right now. And just drop that roof in. And take your time. If you guys need more time than this, please, 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 please stop the video. Take your time, okay? And then I'm gonna go along the other side as well. I made a mistake right there, but that's okay. Because we all do that. And I'm just gonna put that there, just to indicate that roof. And the roof is gonna be covered in snow, everybody. So, it's just a snowy little roof. There might have been a few birds walking on it, who knows. So I'm just gonna rinse that off for a minute. And the cabin's going pretty much right off the page, though I'm probably gonna have a big tree come in here. So I'm not too terribly concerned about that. I mean, if you can't have fun while you're painting, then what is the point really? There we go. Because you need to have fun. You need to have fun while you're painting. Okay, so now we're gonna put some snow in underneath, and we're just gonna set that cabin down, and then we'll wait for it to dry a little bit, and we'll continue on there. So I'm gonna go back to my, oh, I wonder what that's from. I'm gonna go back to my filbert brush here for a minute, and I'm gonna dip into that white, and we're gonna lay that cabin down here. There we go. And there might be a little path that comes out from that cabin too. We don't know that yet, but I'm just gonna lay that cabin in here for now. And like I said, I might have a big tree that comes in there too. And I'll probably put some windows in there. And I'm probably gonna put a little path there too. So I actually think I'm going to do a door and stuff first. So I'm gonna take my liner brush and go straight into that black. And we're gonna make a little doorway here. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, just a little doorway. There we go. And then maybe a window or two over here. And again, doesn't have to be anything fancy. There we go. Just indicate. That's what we're doing here. We're just indicating things. The tree is going to come way up here, and it's going to go right off the page there. I am going to try and straighten out my barn though, I have to say. Or my shed, I guess is what it is, or house, or whatever it is. It's not a barn, it's a little house. So I'm just going to go in and paint that corner in here. There we go. I am not perfect, everybody. I don't claim to be perfect. So it is what it is. I'm also going to make a little path that goes off, and I actually might even use, I'm just going to get some blue, and we're going to use that, the blue and the white again. So I'm going to get a little bit of that out. There we go. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. And I'm just going to go and I'm going to make that path in there. So I'm just going to take a little bit of white and a little bit of that blue and mix it up. And then the path is just going to go out like this. I might use a little bit darker there. And the path will be coming this way. Not that anyone's used this path in a long time, but I guess we have to indicate that there is one there. Okay, so that's good. Now I'm going to add a little more snow to the top of that because it's not like, yeah, we just want to add a little more snow to the top of that. There we go. There we are. There's our snow-covered barn, or shed, or house, or whatever you want to call it. Just gonna wipe that off. There we go. Okay, and maybe we're gonna put a little bit of white on that liner brush and go in and highlight that door a little bit, just to make it stand out. Same with these windows, a little bit on the top. Maybe there's snow gathered up there. Down the sides, just like that. And that's it. That's pretty much it. I might go in with a little bit here just to highlight right here. Just a few little things here and there. But other than that, I'm leaving it alone. Yep, there we go, done. Oh, might put an icicle or two on maybe. That might be fun. There we go. Okay, so it looks pretty snowy. So we're gonna let that dry. And I'm gonna take my, whatever this brush is, and I'm just gonna gently go over, sorry, it is a filbert. And I'm just gently gonna go in here and add a little bit of snow on that path too. There we go. Okay, and then we're gonna go in and we're gonna add a big tree up in the front here. And you know, maybe this is a lake in here. So I'm just kind of making this up as we go, because I just feel like sometimes that's the best way to do this kind of thing, this kind of painting. I'm going on a painting I did years ago, but I'm not making it exactly the same because it'll never be exactly the same as the painting that you did, you know, years ago. You'll never have a painting identical. So now what I'm going to do is I feel like I'm going to make another tree that comes right down there. So we're going to mix up that blue again and the black, and we're going to make it very, very dark. Very, very dark. And just take your liner brush. I might even add a little bit of brown to that. Take your liner brush, or sorry, your fan brush, and drag it right through your paint, just like that. And then let's say it starts right about here. Okay, so make your little line first, and then we're just gonna go in, and we're gonna just drop this tree in, and this tree is gonna have much, much snow on it. So we're gonna drop that in right here. He is gonna come out front here, right down here. And it's always going to be darker at the base of your tree. So he's coming right down in the front here. Right down there. I'm just gonna move all my stuff over here because that's all gonna be darker here. There we go. So, and this is a good way if you cover, I mean, if you've made a mistake, this is a great way to cover up your mistakes. So, and I guess I shouldn't laugh, but it's true. I mean, I have done this many, many times when I've made a mistake. So there we go. That is a nice big tree there. And again, it covers up part of that barn and it pushes everything back. We are going to have another tree that comes over here. So again, I'm going to make this a really dark tree. And maybe this tree is coming over here, right in here. And he is going to be really dark. And again, he is leaning over. He's got some age to him. And he is going to go right about here. Just like that. And again, it pushes everything back into that scene. And then we're going to have all kinds of little things over here as well. Or I guess little things. Okay, I feel like I'm having a hard time talking today. Anyway, I hope you guys are all okay. There we go. All right, so there we are. There's that piece. And then we're gonna have a whole bunch of little bushes and things here. So I want you to grab your scrubby brush. And again, we're using this, mine are very hard bristles here. And I'm going to use quite a bit of paint. And I am just going to put in a bunch of bushes and things right here. Again, it's gonna push everything completely back. I'm gonna use a little bit of brown there too. There we go. And it's gonna add texture to your painting as well. So, there we go. And these bushes are all coming in the front there. And this is why I left this piece dark at the front. So just, you know, dab your brush wherever you feel like you should. Don't make it all one sort of, make them staggered. Make the bush staggered. There we go. Okay, so that's good to go. All right, and then I guess we will see you on the next step. Okay, so we're gonna go in and we're gonna highlight or put snow on these trees that we just laid in there. So you're gonna go and right into your white this time because I want this to be pretty bright here. Maybe a touch of blue, but nothing too, I'd rather just have it more toward the white. And then we're just gonna go in and we're gently gonna, I'm gonna put that through there. And we're gently gonna go back and forth here with our brush, just like that. And there's gonna be heaps of snow on this, and it's brighter than the other stuff. So there we go, there's our snow there. And we'll probably, I know there's still a little bit of blue in there, so we're probably gonna add a little more. And in here, we're gonna do the same thing. Just at the front here. There we go. And I just want it to be nice and fluffy. And then we're probably gonna go and add some more blue in there because you know how I am with my trees. I'm also going to take my liner brush and run it through that white, just like that, and twist and twist and twist. And we're gonna mark out the top of that tree. I'm just gonna sit down a minute because I was standing up doing that. So we're just gonna mark that out. That was about right there. A little bit of a shaky hand there, but that's okay. That one is more there. And then I'm also going to be adding in with that brown and black and the liner brush, I'm going to be adding in a tree, like just a couple of little twigs here and there. So I'm going to go in here and we're going to do this. We're just going to move that. This is where, if you have a shaky hand, this is perfect. We want lots of water so that we can get that paint to flow. Okay. And if you have a shaky hand, this is awesome because, whoop, I didn't want that in there. Don't want to make it a watercolor, not today. Okay, so here we go. I may have just made it a watercolor. There we go. I might have to go over that again because it's a little wet. I have to wait for that to dry. Let's see if I can grab some of that without ruining my painting here. See, these things happen, everybody. So, you know, if this happens, don't fret. Just go in very gently with a paper towel and see if you can pick it up. And then we will cover up the water spot here on the next go around, because there's going to be white on there anyway. So here's just a little bush out here, and he's got some pretty limbs, but I want him going in toward the mountain, and then the mountain is going to pull your eye back down this way so that you can see it'll just flow with the painting. So now I'm going to go in with my filbert brush again, and I'm going to add in some more blue on those trees, because you know how I do this all the time. So I just feel like they're a little bit too snowy there, and I just want a little bit of color in there. So I'm just going to add that in now while it's still a bit wet, and that kind of gives us just another little layer there on those trees. There we go. That makes me feel better. And then for these bushes down here, we're going to let this fella dry here for a minute. In fact, I may even extend him out just a little bit taller at the top there. So a little bit more here, I feel. There we go. And pointing toward the barn a little bit and toward the mountain. There we go. Okay. We also may have a few things in here as well, like a few little grasses and things back in here. Just like that. They're going to be fairly tiny though. And in here, maybe on that, maybe there's a little bit of a board, some boards in here too, along the shed here. You just don't know. And then we may have to cover up some of that with some snow, but maybe it's just a little boardwalk here down to the path, the big path out here. There we go. So just little things like that. And I mean, you don't have to be perfect here, everybody. It's just, you know, we're fooling the eye a little bit. And we're doing stuff so that the eye believes something to be true. We're going to come back and we're going to add snow in there too. We're going to do with a toothbrush. So get a little toothbrush, an old toothbrush if you have one. We're going to put snow in here too. But anyway, let's do this part first. So I've got my scruffy brush again, and I'm going to dip right into that white, and I'm going to go in and fill in some of these little bushes now. And don't kill all your darks here, okay? Because those darks are what's separating your bushes. There we go. And you want your brush to sort of flow this way and that way. I don't necessarily want everything in one direction, because in nature, of course, it's not one direction. So, and I just want these to sort of come in front of that tree there. And then we're going to take our liner brush again, And we're going to make some little indications of stems in here. So just go in with your liner brush, drag it through your white paint, and go in and just make a few little stems here and there on here, just to indicate that it is in fact a bush. And we also want, you know, little doodads or whatever you want to call them coming out of here too. Little things here and there, just to separate everything. And it's cold. This painting is very, very cold. So I really want that to flow off my brush here. So I'm going to dip it in a bit more water. And then as it dries, these paintings in acrylic, they always dry a little bit darker. So it'll be a little darker by the time you're done. But just to give a little fill in here, just like that. I feel like I've still got too much white in that tree. So I'm going to go back in again with more blue in here, just to give it, and this is almost like a little bit of a wash that I'm using here, just to make it just a little, give it a little more color there. So now I'm going to take that same liner brush and I'm going to go and I'm going to put frost on that tree. So again, I'm going to twist it, and then we're going to come in and we're going to go along in this tree, and we're going to just put lines in here. When it gets to the lighter areas of the snow, you don't want to use quite as much because you need light to show dark, dark to show light. So just a tiny bit there. There we go. Give it a little bit of a frosty look. There we are. Excellent. And then he might have some things coming out here too. There might be some little grasses and things sticking out there too. So add some of that in there. And then again, we're going to do that across here. Again, I'm not paying too much attention here. I'm not making it perfect because it's just not perfect. There might be some grasses and things at this barn here, or the shed, sorry. So again, it's just not, you know, doesn't have to be perfect. I want to come in here and I'm going to give this some really glinty, thick snow here. There we go. Just so that it really shows up. There we go. And in here, maybe there's a few that come along in here too that are lit up. Not necessarily by the sun, because this is a pretty dark little painting, but I want there just to be some light, shining little pieces of light. And you don't want to do too much, but you want to do some. And I feel like it needs to be a little more lit up here as well on the edge there. There we go. And in here maybe, there we go. He comes right out there. There's a big little snowbank. And here is a big little snowbank. And in here, maybe in here, it's a bit of a snowbank back in here. So, and then that's about it, everybody. Like I want to add snow to the background. I'm just going to add a little bit of the brown in here as well with the liner brush. A little bit of that burnt umber just to give it a little bit more something, something. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so that's good. So now I want to make some snow. So just a heads up, everybody, we're going to come back and do some snow. Okay, everybody, we're going to put snow, okay? So I've got my toothbrush. It's an old toothbrush that I've had forever. And I'm going to dip it in the water, okay? The more water you have, the bigger your flakes are going to be. So we don't want it to be, you know, a lot of water. We just want a little bit of water because we want this to look like really light snow. And then all I'm doing is I'm putting the brush in here. So once you've dipped it in, just dip it in on a paper towel as well. And this is going to get messy, you guys, so cover up. You know, if you have things around your painting, make sure you cover them up. So what we're doing is we're just doing that. We're going to let go. Let our brush do the work for us here. And this is just a really pretty way to finish up a painting like this. It makes it look cold and Christmassy. There we go, done. Just like that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in and we are going to sign our work. So I'm gonna grab my little brush, my liner brush, and I'm gonna go into that white, if there's any left at all. Actually, I may use, I'm gonna use white. And I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna sign it right here. Oh, maybe not quite enough. I might have to use a different color. Let's see, I'm gonna grab a little more white. There we go. And I'm gonna put a little more on my brush here. And I'm just gonna sign it Char. There we go. I can be part of the tree. There we go. So please sign your work, everybody. It's so important. I hope you've enjoyed this painting. I know I've gone on and on and on, but I hope you've enjoyed this, and we'll see you back here for another painting, hopefully very soon. All right, bye.